here with us this evening. Ah, Nigeria. Nigeria is what we call one week, one trouble. Every week you tend to hear new things, happening in Nigeria. Sometimes it could be overwhelming for some people because it's quite sometimes interesting and sometimes it's really does your head. Now, the topic today, as it implies, is as I told us, I want to be doing these days to see if I'm able to do. Gladys, thank you very much. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. Many of you joining me. It would be nice to know where you're joining me from. If you could just state where you're joining me from in the comment section. Elama says, okay, yeah, Gladys, I greet you. So, the topic today is that Nigerian government paid American lobby group $9 million. $9 million. So if we punch that in our calculator, that will be $9 million. Will be if we go by exchange rates, if we take the medium, that will be about 1,450 to a dollar, and that will give us about 13 million. Sorry, 13 about 13 billion, give or take, 13 roughly 13 billion. 13 b 13 billion. Now that's a humongous amount of money to pay. The worrying too, however, is that um, you ask yourself, why would Nigeria pay such humongous amount of money, and what do they want to achieve? Of course, you know that Donald Trump classified Nigeria as a country of particular concern. And because the Nigeria has been classified for, quote unquote, genocide against Christians and other religious beliefs as well, if you look at it that way, you ask me, why would I pay money to go launder my image rather than to fix my image? It is not today that this started. Recall that many months or many couple of years ago, under Muhammad Buhari, still APC government, the government of United Arab Emirates gave Nigeria the names of those they call terrorist sponsors. Until date, we do not know. Remember the lying machine, Liar Mohammed, then said, oh, government is doing so, they are going to do so, they're going to prosecute these people. Till today, we do not know those on those lists. Till today, we don't know who and who is on that list. Nothing came out of it. So Nigeria has inadvertently become a country that does not take things serious. Nigeria has become a country that wants to throw money as at problem rather than solve it. Now, the worrying thing here is that a lawyer, a law firm in Kaduna was used to hire these people. So that's where, in my view, corruption comes in. Because this law firm in Abuja, by the time, quote me, go and write it down, that is 99% it will happen. By the time Nigerians eventually learn how much this law firm in Kaduna was paid to conja this, because this is nothing but conja, it will then explain the reason why, when this issue of CPC occurred and the NSA, Nihu Ribadu, suddenly disappeared and went into America for weeks. He didn't come out. Now we are hearing, and I wouldn't say the sad part, the funny part is Nigeria has a way of, doing things that really will make you laugh. Now look at this. Let me read this. Let me read this from Premium Times because it's quite funny. The headline is Nigeria hires Look at the headline here from Premium Time. I'm going to read from Premium Times, right? It says Nigeria hires American firm to counter false narrative about country. The Tinubu administration hires American lobbyists to defend its image in Washington as Biafra separatists push for sanctions. Pause for a moment. Somewhat, they would always want to belittle the whole nonsense. They are now trying to blame IPOB, saying that IPOB is pushing for America to sanction Nigeria. Was it then IPOB that actually asked Nigeria not to defend its territorial integrity? Was it IPOB? I have had on this platform people from the Middle Belt who came here to tell me how they have not gone back to their communities for the last 10 years. On this platform, I have had interviews, one-on-one interview for over 2 hours plus. People from Gaza in Borno State, the Christian community that have been displaced for the last 10 years. The Muslim counterpart have gone back, government have built houses for them, but the Christians till date have not gone back. The videos are still here. You ask yourself, how come this is happening in this manner? The report continues. The Nigerian government has hired an American lobby firm for $750,000 per month. Every month, we will count $750,000, give an American firm to go and whisper in the left ears of Donald Trump to say, Mr. President, forgive them for they do not know what they are doing. That's what it means. Over 6 months to defend its international reputation in Washington, spending a total of 4.5 million naira. Dollars. The federal government contract with DCA Group AZ, LLC, runs for 6 months and it is valued at 4.5 million. Under the agreement, DCA Group is mandated to brief the United States government on Nigeria's efforts to protect both Christians and Muslims, while also sustaining American support for Nigeria campaign against terrorist groups operating in West Africa. As Nigeria engages lobbyists in Washington, Biafra separatists, Biafran separatists, and other interested groups are simultaneously working to persuade the United States of America and the United States government that Christians faces systematic persecution in the country. Nigeria is spending significant more than the Biafran separatists, who are investing about $66,000 in in its own. Sorry, this fight is like David and Goliath. They are spending $66,000. Nigerian government comes with ballistic missile. We want to knock everybody. Boom. But on a serious note here, this is, in my view, this is around nonsense, right? There are people in the middle belt that are seriously bleeding, and it hurts to reduce their pain into, let's hire a lobby group and just go there and say no one is killing them. You know, that's unfair. Honestly, that's unfair to them that we will be doing that. That's unfair to them to think, oh, we should go distort the narrative that they are not dying. Likewise, the way I say that, it is also unfair to say that Muslims are not dying. Because when a bomb explodes in a market, it doesn't know Muslims, atheists, Mumuyes, Amadi or her worshippers or Shango worshippers. It doesn't know whether you carry your DSC or not. It will tear you into pieces, right? The fact is that the government has failed totally in its core mandate, which is the protection of life and properties. If government has failed in that, one should think that the government should be doing everything possible to ensure that the lives of Nigerians, they say, Afioman alone, when a good market sells itself. It's just like when we criticize the government, you say the government is saying, oh, GDP is improving, this is improving, but the people are hungry. If if the GDP is improving and XYZ is happening, but the people are hungry. Oh, you're going to go to America to say, let's pay money, let's go, go and lie on our behalf. It does not necessarily mean that the killing has stopped. Today, I spoke to the leaders of the Goza community on Monday. Still, as the event is as it was last year, they have not gone back to their houses. As the people in the middle belt, they have not gone back really. Some communities are still being ransacked. So, in my view, rather than waste that money to go and do an image laundry, then they should have really, used that money to fight the real gist. And what is the real gist here? The real gist is that, people are dying and Nigeria needs to get a grip on it. Now, read this. Hold on. Let me check this one out for us. We'll see quickly. If you also go here, we will see on Business Inside Africa, that is from this day. These days, Business Inside Africa. Let me show us again. You will also see here Nigeria hires US lobbyists for $9 million to communicate its position to Trump administration. If others are spending 55 million, 66,000, and you come with ballistic missile of 9 million naira dollars, it simply means that it's not meant for what it is. It is a case of, someone going there. I mean, Donald Trump must be dumb, must be deaf, that you need $9 million for someone to go, in his ear and beat the gong for him to assimilate and understand what is actually happening in Nigeria. If you ask me, in my view, this is a clear case of APC failure. For so long, we did not have ambassadors. Had we had ambassadors in Washington, of course, this is the duties where those in charge in Washington should begin to engage. That is their job. So, what we can do within the Nigeria structured system is what we are paying people. Now, even in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they have lawyers. Even if they have legal department, the Ministry of Justice, they have, so what is their job if the Ministry of Justice cannot engage directly? Why go through a third party in Kaduna? By the time we get to see how much that firm in Kaduna charges, all of us will have eardrum problem actually, because the money will be so loud. 9 million dollars. And Antonio Conta says $9 million is about 13, no, not 13 trillion, 13 billion. Please, not trillion. How can you say trillion? Is it? Hold on. How many zeros? I've been at the zeros, they confuse me now. No, that's billion now. How about? And I never get money, never reach no billion again. So that's about 13 billion, not 13 trillion. Okay? So if you look at it, you begin to understand. For instance, as Business Insight now said here, it says Nigeria has engaged a US lobby firm in a $9 million dollar contract to manage perception of its response to violence against Christian communities amid rising scrutiny from Washington, D.C., and ongoing security challenges in West African nation. Nigeria has engaged, obviously repeating that, in response to Christian community violence. The engagement aimed to address international scrutiny and maintain U.S. support against jihadist threat in West Africa. The 6 months initial the 6 months agreement initiated in December 2025 includes a monthly retainer fee in 2 installments. The move aligns with broader trend among African nations which increasingly employ U.S. lobbying firms for strategic and policy benefit. Nigeria has joined the growing trend of African government hiring U.S. lobby firms to shape Washington perception, safeguard trade and aid, and manage international scrutiny. In a 9 million contract with DCI Group, the federal government will communicate its effect if its efforts protect Christian communities and maintain U.S. support against West African jihadist group amidst heightened intention from Washington under President Donald Trump. Recall again, and this is where the hack is. Kaduna-based law firm Asta Legal retained DCA Group, a Washington, D.C. based public affairs communication and lobbying firm founded by seasoned political operative to act on behalf of the NSA. That is what I said before, Nuhu Ribadu, who went to America and disappeared for a couple of months. That end of last year visit this is the baby that visit bettered. Signed on December 17th, to 2025 by Asta Legal Managing Partners Oyetunji Ola Lekon. Oyetunji Ola Lekon. Make of the name whatever you want to do. I won't say anything more than that. Managing Partner Oyetunji Olalekon Teslim, and DCA Group Managing Member Justin Peterson. The 6 months contract runs through to June 30th, 2026, with automatic renewal. Did you hear that? After 6 months, it has an automatic renewal clause. Come on now. Come on. See, as they don't deflex us already. They're already flexing us. This year will assist Nigerian government through Asta Legal in communicating its action to protect Nigerian Christians, communities, and maintaining U.S. support in countering West African jihadist group and other destabilizing elements. Either party may terminate the agreement with 60 days written notice. So 60 days. Remember how much we pay a month? 750,000. $750,000 is what we pay. So even if we wake up now, even if we go on the street tomorrow, we protest to say federal government must listen to us, and if they want to cancel it, we will, no matter what, pay $1.3 million, because 60 days is 2 months. So we still have to pay them for 2 months. Even if we said okay, we'll not do again, we still have to pay 1.2 million aside the retainership, the contract signing agreement, blah blah blah. Right? I mean, that's I can share the the details. If you go to Njenje Media, you will also see that they're published, njenjemedia.com. So thinking about this, you now see that sometimes I think that the oppositions are not really doing what they ought to do, though the ADC had issued a statement condemning that that payment basically. And let me quickly take the ADC statement quickly. Let me quickly take the ADC statement, so we would see the angle they are coming from. Where's the ADC again? Where's the ADC statement? I saw their statement condemning it. Okay. Yeah. See the ADC, that was yesterday that ADC quickly wrote that. He said, Tinubu, let me show us here. This is the statement by the ADC. So if you go to Njenje Media, you will read this statement here. And it says, Tinubu's record $9 million propaganda payment scandalous, indefensible. So there is no way you can defend it. The African Democratic Congress has condemned the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration over the report that the federal government approved a 9 million contract for US lobbying services, describing the move at an attempt to launder its image abroad, while Nigerians grapple with worsening insecurity and economic hardship. In a statement issued by the National Publicity Secretary, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, the party stated that the expenditure reflects misplaced priority, especially at a time when thousands of citizens have been killed and millions can barely afford basic necessity, arguing that no amount of paid lobbying can mask the government's failure to protect lives and property. See, so the ADC is actually, so I mean, if PDP is not entirely dead, then PDP should be lending their voice now at this point in time, right? But the other angle that I find, the other angle taken by Premium Times that I found slightly entertaining and interesting, to say the least, is the angle that the government is blaming IPOB for what they, for why they are engaging in lobbying. Because Premium Times here says Nigeria is spending significantly more than the Biafran separatists, who are investing about 66,000 in their own American lobbying campaign. The separatist lobbyist is advocating for sanctions against Nigeria and seeking U.S. recognition of Biafran independence. So, um, one thing that is very clear here, I do not know whether Premium Times intentionally did, you know, slant this news this way. Because one thing that has happened here is by mentioning the IPOB, the middle belt groups that were really lobbying to say that action is taken because they are trying to safeguard their lives, they're trying to save their lives, they're trying to save their place. So that group that had been working on this, trying to get the attention of the government and get the attention of the world to listen to them, appears that that alone didn't get they didn't get any traction here. Nobody mentioned them, which in my view is really indeed sad. But again, they must have done they must have done a very good and fantastic job to really getting the world to take attention, because that's the essence of it. Whatever they have done, no one necessarily goes out there to say bad things about its own country. It's just that, I mean, there is, if you are pushed to the wall and if you have no other option, what else would you do? Someone invades your family, takes your farmland, take your home for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, and your place becomes a killing field, and everyone runs away, just like in the southeast. Because not that we say these things as if they are far-fetched. In southeast, especially in Anambra and some parts of Imo, in the last 4 years, if not 5 years, there are some communities like Osumo, Lilu, and a couple of them that people really in the last 4 or 5 years have run away. Because why? Because we have some of our cuckoo boys, people who have really gone nuts upstairs, who think that killing their own people, shouting, "Give us a country," would, necessarily give them that. I mean, that is also insanity. So just oppose that to other side. It doesn't matter who is engaging in the madness. The only thing that the government has to do is to protect lives and property. Everybody must be protected. Citizens, the government has one duty alone. Like Putin said, his duty is to quicken your meeting your maker. Make it very quicker that you go meet your maker. That's the only job he has against terrorists. So it doesn't matter whoever is behind the terrorism. So, like, I'm trying to really ensure that this program doesn't really, go more than an hour, just to for as the feedback many of us have given. So I try as much as possible to ensure that this program doesn't go more than an hour. Please, if you like what you're watching, you can only do one thing. Please like, share, and subscribe. Now, if you think you have anything to say about what America has done, on the comment section, I believe you can see a place you can join me. You can join me and have your say. Quickly, let me see if I can pin that message for you there. If you can join me, if you wish to join me, I mean, it's up to you. You have your say, and the world will know what you think. Do you think Nigeria has done the right thing? I don't know. Maybe we have, people who are in government who think that it's no brainer. Government that has done the right thing. It's not everybody that would always disagree with government. We have people who think the Nigerian government had actually done the right thing. And if you think so, and you're proud of what the government have done, you can also come up here. The link in the comment section, I think, let me pin that as well. You can come in and tell us. Let's marshal out the argument here. Why do you think this is necessary? Or do you think, like myself, that this is absolutely not necessary? We should have, in my view, used that money judiciously to ensure that these displaced people, because we still have IDP littered everywhere in Nigeria, these people that are displaced should be able to go back home. It's only when we have finished, relocating all the people in IDP, probably building, if they had huts or whatever we build for them, but that they should go back to the place they know as home, and that they should be protected. It's only when we've done that I think that we can be taken serious, that we are actually making some, effort. On the second part of this evening broadcast is on what is happening in Abia State. Abia State, we were told that Okezi Bazo, sorry, Alex Otti is painting the roads in Abia State, and it's actually funny. Alex Otti, the painter, Alex Otti is painting the roads in Abia State. It is funny enough, those were those that, those who said that, hold on, Alex, those who said that were those who governed the state before. And in their manner of speech, the one thing I like about Ndabia is Abia's Abia residents, Abia's indigents, people of Abia were really upset. They started showing how Abia used to look before now. For instance, watch out this video. eh? So when they now started showing people places like this, see, this is how this is how the places look like. So when you see things like this, and from what you saw, they are now showing us this. This is the new Abia, the new Aba. And they were saying, if this is what it means to paint, they are willing to buy more paint. Alex Otimos. Alex Otimos paint everywhere. See? From what you saw before to this, isn't that a good paint? Would you not mind lending your brush for this painting to continue? Right? Because that's the essence of governance. How can you can see that electric buses in Abia State? You know, when I look at this, I was in Abia a couple of weeks, last year, weeks back, and I was driven from Omahe. I lived in Omahe, Aba Road, so it's a city. Is actually my third home. Umuahia is my third home. So I lived in, is a place I know very well. Osa Road. I remember when Ojuzo Carlo, if you lived in Oman, there was a time under Ojuzo Carlo, without expanding that road, he came and he put in toll gate in Osa Road. The moment you see, welcome to Abia State, and you turn left, trying to get into Umaya before Barra Square, you will see where, a very narrow thing, and there was an accident. So out of anger, I think people protested or something like that. Then that was knocked down, and the whole thing was disbanded. But when this guy came, he expanded it. Now it's 3 lane, you know, really 3 lane, and beautified it. From there, we went towards the War Museum, the road going to Item. I was shown what they were doing there. From there, we went to Aba. And you can also see from Aba, I stood, my video will be coming out tomorrow. My video of that visit will be coming out tomorrow. You will see where I stood in a heap of sand facing Port Harcourt, and that's it's good I make this distinction, and you understand that tomorrow in the video that will be released. You see a clear distinction between Port Harcourt Road and Port Harcourt Expressway. Port Harcourt Road is a road in Aba that was really, really, really terrible. In one of the handover notes, in one of the handover video done by Dixon Irebu, my good friend Dixon Irebu, the last interview he had with Okezi Bazu explained how he had waited for the World Bank to release that loan that they were supposed to have released the money to do that Port Harcourt Road in uh, before the COVID, but as a result of COVID, it was stopped. Then he explained that he was going to hand over. Then election hadn't happened when this interview. The interview is still on YouTube here. The election hasn't happened when this interview took place, and he was trying to explain that whoever was going to win the election and take over from him was going to be the benefactor. You make that argument, somebody will tell you, ah, 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 ah. Why did we not do this road? And someone will remember, okay, Zibas, one of the funny moments, not only the domino pizza, not that every woman that gives birth in the hospital will be paid 5,000, is it 5,000? No, 500 naira, not even 5,000 or 50,000. It was when he said something about flyover, whether you asked him to build the flyover, right? And this is that funny moment here. I can't play this video enough, but let's hear that. In a radio interview, he was asked, "When are you going to finish?" Sorry, if you don't understand Igbo, for the benefit of my audience who do not understand Igbo, I'll play and pause and let you enjoy this with me. This is premium content. Premium. I can't laugh enough on this premium content. Listen to this. Flyover, flyover and all water. All the way to any color, the China and then I was one so and so book I am at a landlord. Couldn't you gonna fly over to go? So the guy asked him, this flyover, it has stayed. It has gone past when he promised us that this flyover will be ready. And they are also aware that Chinese workers at some point had issues when they were attacked. Now, he now asked him, sorry, sorry, when will the flyover be ready? Now, see, please pardon me, this is premium content for me. Now, see what he responded. Yeah. So, you know, The first thing he said is, my question to you is, does the flyover concern you? Now you say, make I go build down. This is a sitting governor in a radio interview asking them, it concern you with flyover. When I say, make I go build flyover, then he now said the following. So I am the one that went and I brought those people to come and do it, and you call it center table. Sorry, I can't. Anytime I hear, in fact, I think I'll use that to do ringtone. Anytime I hear, those of you who are actually questioning about this flyover, you don't have a car. You now ask them, person when no get car, they use flyover. So what's your problem with the fly? Oh, Jesus Christ, eh? Oh, Jesus. That's for me. Anytime I hear that voice, person when no get motor, why do you bother yourself about flyover if you don't have a car? So, for him, that is what governance is. Then there is no need. And there is also other incidents of, to governance in that state tonight. There is also the other incident of the airport. But again, the airport, it remains to be seen. So, having said that, you now see why, in case some of you who may not have, for many of you who may not have known why Abia, because you might be seeing a lot of memes when people are saying, Alex, why are you painting? Because this photo has been turned into a lot. You see this photo? These are the three former governors. That is Ojus Okalu, Okezi Bazu, and Theodore Oji. So these were the three individuals that actually governed Abia State, right? Then including, so this means one of these photos as well, because Nigeria are now saying, right, we walk this road. So you see the road where they said they walk. Now this guy came to paint it. So if you're wondering where this narration of painting, is coming from, it's coming from an interview granted by, in one of the interview granted by Oju Zokal. In fact, one thing I like about what's happening in Abia here is it's not about the governor. The governor is actually doing nothing. He hasn't actually said anything. It's just that the people are pissed. The people are now saying, this is what you call painting. They say the top is the road you constructed. The bottom one is what the current governor painted. So the people are now really taking a piece, saying, we want more of painting. Paint more. Paint more. They are basically saying the guy should come and paint more. Right? Oh dear. And now see some of the memes. See some of the memes that people are producing. So they've given them bucket of paint. This is basically AI generated from their pictures, animated, and trying to, say that we, the people of Abia State had really, look at that Port Harcourt road in question. The Port Harcourt road in question. The top is Port Harcourt road. The bottom is the same Port Harcourt road. You are going to see my own video. And I had a conversation with men, when I was eating corn by the roadside. I had conversation with the real people. When I was even, though my driver was on a different side, I went to where the keke drivers were, where the Okada drivers were. I asked them randomly. So it's not prepped. They just asked them, what do you think? Suddenly you see people begin to pray for this. These are people who were born in that vicinity. They lived in that vicinity since the last 20 years, some 30, 40 years. So they are not children to know how it was 15, 20, 30 years ago and to know how it has been in the last 2 years. Listen, I flew into Owerri with one of the Labour Party. We flew in with a private jet with one of the Labour Party candidates then into Alex Otti's inauguration. I stood in the field the moment Alex Otti was sworn in. I kid you not. You can see a lot of elderly people surrounding me. They were crying. You can see one old woman, I think probably from Assemblies of God or what, just raised her hands up. You can see real tears. An old woman praying that she is alive to see that something different is going to happen in this state, that the state has finally been liberated. So the people of Abia State are now saying it that this is a fight. This is nothing but war. In the words of Indaboski, the battle, ja, 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 the battle line is drawn. To people of Aba, they have drawn the battle line to say that we have seen worst. Now there is a semblance of succor. They do not want to go back to Egypt. So those, even when the governor said those who are planning to rig election, because he believes that the only way you can remove him from the way he has been governing the state is for you to rig the election. He said those who are planning to rig the election should first of all write their wills, right? And funny enough, when he said that, some people got angry and said that those and started reacting. The question I asked myself is, he hasn't called anybody names. He hasn't said you're going to rig the election. So if you're not planning to rig the election, why did you take offense that election will be rigged, as he said, right? I just need to find this video. I had it before, but let me quickly in my find the video where they're talking about this issue of and even what's this girl's name? Doris Ogala collected a stray bullet as well. I tell you, the people of Abia, they know the smart. They had to go back. In fact, if you go to Njenje Media today, because I remember before COVID, I sent a reporter then to Aba. Go there, go to Njenje Media now, type in the mess called Aba. There was a documentary we ran on it actually. The mess called Aba. This is something you will see there. Something like this is what you're going to see. See? The enormity of the problem cannot just be summed up by this little video you're seeing. And come by himself. This is the Aba Road. Sorry, this is the Port Harcourt Road. This is the Port Harcourt Road, the way it was then. If you remember, I did a video when people were walking, water will get to their breast, and I was alarmed because you can see heaps of deaths. And what got me really alarmed at that point, and I made the video and I said, it hurts me that our mothers are going into these waters because women have openings in their bodies because of infection. And heaps of sand, heaps of deaths. I mean, you can see greenish, and people were just going through it in order to navigate. But because they have woken the sleeping lion, people are now getting angry that they would even go to Ojus Okalu's own village and say, you are talking, but this is the road you built. Listen to this.
Yeah, Senior Doctor Ojos Okalo. Okay, Senator Dr. Ojos Okalo Street. Malene Street. Very bad road. In the street. I'm a candidate of the threats and them say your brother was also everywhere. There. There. I can move the main signboard. There. Main signboard. Very proud.
So when you really understand this, you begin to see why the people of Abia are taking this, the statements that were alluded to former governors, to the current governor, and many people are also saying that is because he made a law to cancel pension of the former governors. That one is, so because who suppose if you're not corrupt, you should be able to live on pension. And they are now beginning to show stuff like they say our senator, see the things he shared for his constituency. So these are old stuff. Suddenly, from nowhere, now from nowhere, Doris Ogala, that's the same lady that been dragging Pastor Chris, and people are beginning to have sympathy for her. Suddenly, she go chook her mouth for waiting no concern her. And people were doya vava.
Yeah, good morning. I've just been very busy, so I've not really paid attention to Abia State politics. I saw a video my boss made, Ogandioga Senator Ojus Okalo, stating that the Governor Alex Otti has not done or constructed a new road project in Abia, which is true. He said that Alex Otti has only been fixing and repeating his project as a governor that he Ojus Okalo built 2009, I'm sure. So now, this morning, I'm seeing another video that Alex Otti's media team brought out to counter what my senator, my boss, Ogan Dioga said, Senator Ojus Okalu. Now, let me clear you guys. That video is a damage control because if you look at that video,
my dear sister, go and face Chris, I beg. Go and face Chris. He must marry you. Hmm? No chook your mouth for this one. You know why I say you should go and face Chris? Just like in the time that Peter Obi took over as governor of Anambra State, there was no secretariat. Government house was burnt. There was no money. Pensions were being owed. Gratuities were being owed. Schools were on strike. So what did you expect him to do? He should abandon everything and start new project or start building new schools. What he did was to renovate and rehabilitate old and dilapidated schools. Who in his right sense will look at all these videos I've shown, the way Aba was, the way the roads were, and you go and start new roads? Is it not the same logic that many of us have said the coastal highway is good? It could open new frontiers. But we have roads littered all over Nigerians that is yearning and crying for government to intervene. That government should first of all fix these roads. When they do, they can now begin to think of expanding new frontiers. If we can say that to the federal government, let's just oppose the state government to it. If Ojus Okalu built road, handed over to Theodore Oji, and Theodore handed over to Okezi Ikpeazu, three people still under the control and in cahoots with Ojus Okalu. If they could not maintain these roads, 888, if they could not maintain these roads until this man now came, isn't that your own failure? One, that the roads you built were of inferior quality. That's what it means. If the roads were good, why would he go and rebuild them? He's rebuilding them because that road were impassable. It's as simple as that. So I don't understand all these brouhaha where things are going, you know. So people, that is it. Nigeria is paying $9 million to counter the narrative that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. And again, Otti, we are saying paint on. Alex Otti, keep painting. Paint on. Alex Otti, paint, paint, paint on. If you ask me, the governors in the southeast, who is the best performing governor, I'll give it to Enugu. I mean, the places I've visited, you know. My visit in Abia State, I was able to finish the whole sites, in less than call it 4 or 5 hours. But in Enugu, in 2 days, I couldn't finish the project site. So you can see the difference, right? But in comparison, what Alex Oti is doing compared to those before him, uh, there is no comparison. And the people of Abia State would never allow themselves to go back to Egypt. I am Mazes, okay? Please like, share, subscribe. Good night. Bye from here.